Okay, this morning we're going to be installing a tow hitch and a wiring harness onto Mouse's Tucson. Alright, good morning. So today is vehicle maintenance day. We are going to be working on both of the vehicles. We have to do some oil changes, we have to do some spark plug replacements, tire pressures, all that fun stuff, and on top of that, we have to update Mouse's car with the new tow hitch and wiring harness so that she can pull the new utility trailer. It's going to be a busy weekend. Let's get started. Okay, so we have to install this tow hitch onto that vehicle. Now, luckily, the frame of the vehicle already has the screw holes ready for it, or bolt holes. So we should just be able to lift it up, bolt it in place, and it should be as easy as that. All the YouTube videos I've watched suggest that it is pretty simple. What they do recommend though is dropping the exhaust first, just to make it a bit easier to get to. Okay, so there's the bolt holes that we have to bolt into. And yeah, there's one on the side there as well. And that's the exhaust bracket that we need to remove or unhook to lower the exhaust down. And there's one on the other side as well. Now, my worry is, if I drop the exhaust down, is that going to put stress on the other end? Not sure. I could unbolt it. That might be a good idea. We have the connector here. We could unbolt that just so we don't stress it out, because otherwise it is a single piece right down to the other end. And as you can see, there's another hook just up there. Okay, so you didn't see that, but I just had a quick chat with my dad, who is a mechanic. Oh, he's retired now, but he spent a lot of time around vehicles. And so, yes, apparently my concern of lowering the back and potentially damaging or flexing the manifold end where the exhaust connects to the engine is a valid concern. However, we think, or we're pretty reasonably confident, that we can lower the box down a little bit and just add some boxes, so some blocks of wood or something, just to take the weight of the exhaust so it's not just free hanging and flexing the front. Should be should be okay, shouldn't be an issue. The other option, as we mentioned, was to undo some bolts just behind the exhaust box here and remove the whole box so we can get to all the bolt holes, which would make things much easier. The challenge with that is that potentially between the two connectors where the exhaust box connects to the pipe and the cat, there may be a gasket or some sort of sealant around that to stop the exhaust fumes and things from leaking out at that end of the pipe or the joint. So the plan is, I'm going to see if we can do it without taking the exhaust down, see how much effort that is. No, that's going to suck. I can't do that. It'll be okay on that side, but on this side we have the bracket in the way. Ugh. Yeah, I can't clear the exhaust outlet to get it up and under where it needs to go. It's got to come down. There's one. That's a lot more space. Good. Now, interestingly, this is where we need to run the wiring as well later on for the lighting, so we have to leave that off. So we have both the bolt holes. We have two bolt holes here, 1, 2, and we have another 2 right up there. All 4 bolt holes. It is really mucky down here. You can tell Mouse doesn't wash this bit of her car. Just kidding. So at the top of these things, they have these, you can see that there. Where is it? Right there, they have these little kind of push fit connectors. He's got to pull down on them to get them out. One, two, three, four. Okay, and the exhaust bracket at this end. So this bit here, this bit is the bit that's in the way, the actual exhaust. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray some WD-40 on the rubbery bit. Let that seep in for a bit, and we're going to try and pull that off. If you saw one of our other videos, you might remember this. This is my matty hand. It's an extra hand for a helping hand when you need it. We have our matty hand helping out. Let's see if we can drop this down a little bit. And these are just here for just in cases, right? And I'm just pushing the rubber bushing away. There we go. It is off. Now, if you can see what I can see, that hasn't helped at all. There we go. And as you can see, that's absolutely nothing to help our situation at your end. Okay, I just checked the instructions and it recommends removing the rubber mount, so we're halfway there. We've also got the bolts that came with it. These are 16mm bolts, M10s apparently. So we have our 16mm socket on a ratchet. Let's see if we can lift this in and make it work. Let's try. Oh yeah. Rotate it backwards. There we go. Like so. Oh, beautiful. Okay, mouse to the rescue. Okay, and what I need you to do is just to lift it up.
Yep.
Okay, like that, so I can get a couple of bolts in.
Is it supposed to go above the exhaust thing?
Alright, so you can see, I've got a couple of, actually I don't know if you can see, I've got a couple of bolts in there. It's just it's a little bit too low. So I'm just going to try and... There we go. But... And we don't want to do these too tight because we still have to put the ones underneath in. I want it in far enough that it's not going to fall out and hit me on the head. Just trying to line these holes up because the holes in the bar are not quite in line with the chassis. Interesting, there's only 3 bolts on this side. That's the 3 bolts are in on this side. So let's head back to the other side and we'll get those bolts all in. There we go. This is going to be a pain because the other one is right in here. According to the installation instructions, tighten all bolts with a torque wrench to 42 pounds a foot, or 57 Newton meters. I got a buddy at the office who finds it incredibly funny that I always use a torque wrench anywhere it says you got a torquer. There we go. Okay, so just remember, Mouse, that because we've got the tow hitch on the back now, your ground clearance is about 4 inches lower at the bumper.
Okay.
Now it's no lower than the rest of the vehicle components, like the
Which I've
exhaust.
always had to worry about anyway.
Yeah, but just like if you're reversing up to, like, say, a curb or something that you would normally have been able to reverse over, like if it's a high curb. Like if you catch this, like, because it's these chain supports where you put the chain links on for the safety chains. They're the lowest point. So if you catch those on like a concrete path or something, you'll tell that the sound of tearing metal is very distinct. It sounds like a.
Yeah, that's what I.
You know what I've got when I've got really bad like sinus, it'll sound like that. Reconnect the exhaust bracket. I've already done the other side. All right, we are done. Well, except for the electrical component. That's up next. But first, let's go help Mouse with the lawnmower.
So, turns out, it wasn't out of gas. It's just because I got so carried away. Yeah, couldn't mow anymore. Now, you love me, right? So it died again. We're going to try the fuel thing this time, are we?
I think this time it does need gas. Don't forget. Squeeze the warning horn. Now you can start it.
How stupid do I feel? Clearly, my summer of no lawn mowing last summer, which was lovely, depleted me of my lawn mowing brain cells.
Okay, for the wiring harness, we're going to be using a Curt Custom Wiring Harness, number 56348. That one right there. Which is apparently for select Hyundai Tucsons. But these connectors should fit directly into the tail lights. How hard could that be? Nice, got all the extras. That's the cover for the end. We're not going to need that till right at the end. I suspect that's probably to run to the battery. Got a fuse that's going to go at the battery end. Free elastic band, score. And then in here we have the control module. And we have the connector that goes to the trailer. And we have, that's one side of lights. That's the other side. And a grounding wire. Okay, so step one is we need to remove the shrouds on the light here, take off the light so we can access the wiring behind it, and we can feed it down to where the connectors are going to go. And we need to do that on both sides. So we're going to take this off. There'll be a couple of bolts behind here to remove, which I believe are 10mm. And then the whole light, there are actually some retaining pins on the side of the light here that we can just pop away and slide out. Okay, there we go. There is a connector on the back, which is it's a one-way connector, but it's got a little pinch tab. Punch it in, slide it out. There is a void between the bodywork and the shell. I can slide the cable down to attach it to the control. Okay, so to feed it through, I don't have my wire feeder that I used to have years ago. I can't find it. So I am going to use tile edging that I have, because it has it's a long white stick. You can probably see it just up there sticking out. It's a long white stick, and it has lots of holes in it, so I can put a feeder piece of rope through. So what I'm going to do is just put it through there. Attach my wires to the other end using the included elastic bands that were thoughtfully provided. We can pull it up so we can attach it. So this should, it's a shame I can't test this before I have to wire it all in. So this will now fit into here. It works.
No, it clicks in.
No, but it means we've got the right connectors.
Oh, okay.
I was like on the edge thinking, oh, maybe we'll, because this, I think this kit is for like a 2020 Tucson, and yours is a 2016. So I didn't want to tell you that bit in case it's the wrong one. All right, that bit will then click into here, like that, and then so we're just going to make sure we line these tabs up. There's a little kind of catch tab there, and there's a little pokey in tab. That's technical. We have a pokey in tab and a sliding tab. I don't know what they're called. There you go. Insert in there.
What am I doing?
I want to test this light, so if you can do a brake light, and signal check, please. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Yay. I did the wrong one.
You did the wrong one.
I did the wrong one. I plugged the left into the right and the right into the left.
But when I signalled left,
yeah, this works. But if you signal left on this, the trailer's going to signal right. You're going to be sending mixed signals.
Did you not read the instructions beforehand?
I did. I just got so caught up in it all that it was working.
Okay. Should we go with take 2? I think I need to make a cup of tea at this point.
Yeah, please. Okay, so if you're doing this and using this kit, the long green one goes to the right. Apparently that piece needs to be screwed into bodywork. Is that going to hit anything? I don't think so. I want to do it somewhere because obviously the water flows down this channel, so I don't want it anywhere near there. So I don't want it rusting. Oops. So I'm thinking somewhere there. I can always imagine my dad behind my shoulder like that. What the hell are you doing? All right, no turning back, I guess. So, as I was saying, this piece should now just connect directly into there. And then this, actually, didn't learn last time, did I? Very carefully, gonna remove the tiny zip tie. There we go. Okay, so that was just a case of getting the all the connectors in the right way so that they're gonna allow the light to fit back on again. Okay, so next step is the green wire has to go across to the other side and up to the other light. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to zip tie it on the way. Brilliant. I do need a little bit of slack on this end. Otherwise, if this is too tight, let me show you. If this wire here is too tight, then when I try and put this plastic thing on it, it's gonna not fit because the wire is in the way of the plastic shroud. So I'm just gonna zip tie that little thing in the way. Little trailer connector. What I'm gonna do with this one is I'm actually gonna feed this around behind the bumper so we can drop it out just right by the hitch. So this, I'm gonna feed above the bumper support just to keep it off the ground. Okay, after a bit of refreshments, bit of lunch for both of us, right buddy? Alright, so now we're going to work on the right hand side. Same method, we're going to drop this down, attach the wiring, pull it back up again, hopefully just connect it all up. After that, we've just got to run a cable to the battery at the front. Everything still works, which is a bonus. The only thing I can't test are the brake lights. But the cool thing about the Tucson is when you turn the ignition on, it does a system check. And although that looks kind of gimmicky, when the lights were disconnected, the actual tail lights, the system was reporting that tail lights were not operational. So the fact that I'm not seeing that now is a bonus. Now on to the less than fun bit. We've got to run a wire from the back end all the way to the front end where the engine is to hook it up to the battery to provide power to this towing system. There it is. Little wire there. Made that a little bit too long, so let's just trim some of that. Like so. All right. In the professionally installed video, YouTube video that I watched, the guy ran the battery line to the engineering compartment down the left-hand side of the vehicle using the brake line to attach it to. And that seems like a good idea because it goes almost all the way down there. There's the battery terminal, so let's open that up. And what we need to do next is a little screw right here. You need to unscrew that. We're going to put the wire around, put an eye connector thingamajig on it. Actually, no, we're not. We have to put a fuse on this. We're going to put a fuse on it and then join it to the battery. Okay. And just put it down again. Like, where is it? All right. Now we can attach that to the battery. Oh, did you see where that went? You know, funny enough, in the YouTube video I was watching, they said don't drop the nut, because if you drop the nut, we're all cabled in, power run from the hitch all the way to the battery. Eventually, it was all going well until we lost that 10mm nut.
That's what she said.
This is only like attempt 4. She's doing really well. Look at this, right between the cones. That is really good. Good job. So how's your first driving lesson in like 20 years?
Scary. I think the problem is I overthink things, and so I think things are going to be, I mean, that was complicated because the tiniest thing and it moves in a completely opposite direction, and it's constant adjustment. It's like a lot of vehicles, as soon as you start, when you start on the road, it's really, you know, daunting initially, but then as you get going, the more you go, the easier it becomes.
Yeah. Now it'd be interesting to see the once we get the trailer loaded, the weight difference